No, wait,
That's
wait.
why.
Yeah.
We can't say names. Like who?
Johnny Rigo.
Yeah.
Johnny Rigo, yeah.
Oh, goodness
You can say
gracious.
names.
Good God.
Just not the guys on here.
Oh,
Let's start
okay.
this thing off. All right, Furlough Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. Furlough Friday number 27.
Happy Friday, yeah.
Are we there? I think we're 27. It's amazing. And someone's getting a call. It's time to get coffee.
No, it says Furlough Friday.
Oh, look
BMac.
at you. Smart.
BMac,
Yeah.
you're like that. You're like the elusive girl in the halls of high school that we've been trying to catch for months.
Dude, it's
Take to the movies, and we finally got
Unbelievable.
you. We found you in a moment of weakness yesterday, and we roped you in.
We
So you better
finally
put out-
got
Yeah.
You did.
finally got
Yeah.
BMac, and we had
Can't
to put
go
him.
at all.
We had to pair him with one of our resident. Who you going by now? One of our resident Herbie. All right, we're going to put him with Herbie for just such an event, man. Yeah. So first of all, what gives? Why are you ghosting us? Why are you scared to take us out and get to second base at least? Like, what's the deal?
Me? BMac?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well,
I'm in.
you are now.
I-
We've been trying to get you in.
No, I got a busy
Hey,
schedule. Let me show you my schedule.
So hold on. So first off, we only have 6 minutes to grab the viewer's attention, 6 minutes or less. So we need to lead this off with why you're here, BMac, and especially today.
Oh boy.
Can you talk about what happened at your son's high school this week?
Oh, this is
Crazy.
what got you fired up. This is what got you wanting to get on the show.
Yeah, no American flags there on the vehicles in the student parking lot. And,
I read your text. Is that any likeness at all, or just like the ones that stick out the window?
No, yes, ones that stick out the window.
Okay.
So no flying flags. So they can't, force to remove stickers or decals at this point. I wouldn't doubt if that comes next, but.
So wait, let's be clear here. They are restricted from flying the American flag, the red, white, and blue, on their vehicles at school.
There you go. And look, hey, I agree, and I'll say it first, man. You shouldn't have political displays of political sides out there in your vehicle either. Certainly at a high school, too much drama with that right now or ever, years past.
Sure.
But certainly, man, the American flag's given us this opportunity to sit down and do this thing tonight. You know what I mean?
Oh, without question.
And protects us times 10. But I don't get it. I think the world's gone crazy.
Did you reach out to the principal and find out why?
I went above that already. Yeah.
And?
Yeah.
Why not? To the board, huh? Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. It's not going to win. It's going to be a legal battle before it's over, right?
So is this like one man's?
What's the crux of it?
No.
Is it a safety thing, or is it is it really trying to? Is it a free speech thing?
No, the last I had heard from a bird on the side was it was, quote, it incites violence. So, yeah, the American flag, get that.
Now, okay, I'll play devil's advocate there. Now, are they saying it incites violence because the folks that are waving the flag are backing that up with claims of being more patriotic than someone else? Are they trying to use, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they poking the bear with it?
I totally get that. And I certainly try to put my wear the other shoe, so to speak. But, man, I mean, if anything right now, that's the one thing we all need to stand under. You can have your Biden flag, your Trump flag, your rainbow flag, your BLM flag, whatever, your Catholic flag, whatever religion you fall under. But at the end of the day, we still got to come back to the American flag, right?
All of those are free underneath only one flag.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to get all gushy with you guys, but man, I'll even go back to my grandma one day. She told me, she's like, look, Brian, if everybody prays the rosary in this country, we'll all come to an equal forum. You know what I mean? And she was right, but it wasn't the rosary she was talking about. I mean, it could just as well be we all come under the American flag, exist under the flag. And and grandma would roll over if she heard me say this now, but I think that flag sits even above God or Jesus Christ for that matter, because I wouldn't know either of those guys if that flag didn't exist, right?
Wow.
So
That's deep,
I
man.
mean, well, I mean, not to go deeper, but I mean that is
Yeah.
what it is. So I couldn't sleep last night getting. Did you hear how I found this out? I got to tell you, I found it out. My boy's
No, how'd you?
changing oil in his truck, and I went out there and I found a flag rolled up on a 5-foot pole in the back of his truck, and I said, Jacob, what are you doing with this? He's like, well, Dad, you know, I'm pretty upset with the school right now, and his intent was, to go there and stand out there Thursday, Friday afternoon and wave his flag before or after school. It's the American flag. It's not the Confederate flag, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I I don't get it. He didn't want to show me because he knew I'd be upset. Of course, I lost my mind, but here we are.
Hmm.
And yes, kids were pulled out of school. Kids, I call them kids, sure, the students, young adults, whatever they are,
Yeah.
and they were asked to remove the stars and stripes from their vehicles. So, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know,
story. Yeah.
the four of us
Well,
here have fought under that flag, for that flag, with that flag. Use any word you want there. So to hear something like that, obviously it affects us differently. For anybody that's a warfighter out there that has gone through any lengths of warfare over the last 20 years in our era, right? And then of course
right.
the veterans before us. That's a big one. It's
Anyone that was
tough.
alive for 9/11. Can you
Yeah.
imagine 20 years ago being being chastised for flying the flag? Because you couldn't swing a dead cat without finding a flag flying somewhere those months right after 9/11. And we're coming up on 20 years after that. Maybe it's a sign of the times that we are living in a relative peace internationally, that our flag doesn't really bring us together for some kind of international war, and it's become a domestic issue now. I don't know. Do we count ourselves fortunate for that, or are we living in a vacuum because we're so used to being on some foreign soil fighting some foreign enemy that we don't know how to get along with each other anymore?
That's a great perspective. Wow. Well, think about, yeah. I mean, so go a little deeper on that. So your perspective there is that internationally, it is what it is. But as we get in a more domestic setting, it loses its meaning. It loses.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah. I mean, after 9/11, we were all banded together against a terror, an enemy of terror. Before that, decades before that, it was the Cold War, and it was a ideological conflict where banding under that flag meant you literally stood for freedom.
Yeah.
We won that war. We are, we're coming out ahead on the war on terror. So now the flag's taking on a completely different meaning back home, and it is like BMac, like his anecdote points out, it's dividing us because some people are interpreting it differently. And those that were around for all those events, and I think that is probably at the crux of a lot of this. You see someone burning the flag, kneeling in front of the flag, throwing the flag on the ground. It's hard to separate your feelings from those past, events that you lived through, and to respect the statement that's being made in a moment. But we all kind of have to try to do that too.
Wow. What do you think, Tyler?
It's just weird seeing the one symbol that's supposed to unite us being used to divide us. I honestly,
Yeah.
I think if you let this thing play out, though, unity wins in the long run. But I think it's a long game, and I don't know what it looks like, but I think there's enough people out there, irregardless if that's a word, that do hold that flag on the pedestal it deserves, regardless of political affiliation. I think it's a small fringe group, and I don't think that they have the leverage there to win that battle over a long term. But it's going to go through the media
Frenzy. Meat grinder.
the meat grinder.
You know, well, it's
Yep.
kind of like what I mentioned last week, and we were talking about at the end of the day, at the end of it, and you know, they were saying I was optimistic that we're gonna make it through it and be better. But I was talking about all this other stuff we're going through. Like as far as I'm concerned, this really should be a no-brainer. Like this one, kind of to piggyback off what Cali was saying, this should be the one thing that unites us. Can't we how can we not agree about who we are underneath the flag? That's how, and how is it used? The only way I can think of is it's used negatively or as a weapon or whatever. As if, you know, they're trying to create some rally behind it and you know, at the end of the day, that's okay.
You know
That's
what?
their right. That's their right underneath that flag.
100%. Except taking the right away from others to display it. That's another question.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. So you're taking somebody else's civil liberties, but is that private property or whatever? I guess what a school is, right?
High school is a public property, right? You went public school there, BMac?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
It's a public school. Yeah.
Public school.
Are you prepared to share the name of that school and maybe put some contact info in here?
Next Furlough Friday.
Okay. After you see what happened, maybe.
Yeah. So see, that'll keep the listeners coming back to next Furlough Friday.
They will.
Right?
And on next week, ladies and gentlemen.
So some other observation I have for that too, and I haven't really formulated this thought, so it may come out as rambling, but I think I saw a skit by Louis C.K. years ago that kind of said how prone we are as Americans to hyperbole. You know, you have a plate of hot wings, you think these are awesome. That's the word you have for everything. They're awesome. The most
amazing.
Amazing,
really?
Yeah.
Are they amazing?
They're amazing. They blew your mind. You almost went insane because they. So I think when you get the civil discourse and people protesting and people having some beef with the government and they don't really have like a firm idea of what it is, I think we're quick to jump to 11, you know, and using the American flag as protest, that's going straight to 11, man. That's skipping over everything in between and just saying like, yeah, I'm burning the flag over this. Fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
And I think what we are seeing
that's different though than what we're seeing at the high school.
Well,
right?
I think the high school is probably just trying to lead turn that, or maybe try to cut that off because they know that that's where everyone's going with it. If they have the least amount of displeasure with any kind of regulation at the local, state, or national level.
I think it's school board, it's school officials, school admin, right? School board meaning across the district, across the county, appeasing to a few squeaky wheels that are upset about it, and they think it will create that amount of angst, anxiety, lead to anger or violence. Maybe, I don't know.
Is that their argument? Have they mentioned what their actual argument is? Is that something that's been brought up?
It has been, and that I don't know what there are. So all I have right now in writing is that they're told to remove all flags from their vehicles. End quote. So is that a flying flag? Does that count as a decal flag or a sticker flag? Is that next? That's what I'm saying. But the one few that I did see that were removed were pictures of 12 by 17 like cloth flags, right?
Yeah.
12-inch by 17, size of a piece of paper, a little bit bigger. But man, I come back, Chris, you mentioned September 11th. Think about that a little bit more, man. Think after September 11th, if our leadership was a little bit more dialed in to the 2020 heart and mind and soul of the more gentle 20-year-old, 30-year-old that exists today, would our leadership above have reached out and said, hey, instead of maybe the law and order scope said, hey, let's all get together, Jesus, and let's get under this flag and unite a little bit. Let's put our arms around each other and look at our neighbors and say, hey, we got to get to this virus, you know? Shit, there goes the economy. We kind of did that to ourselves. We did the economy to ourselves, you know that. But now we got to go recovery mode on the economy while we pull out of a virus, a pandemic, right? And maybe unite under a flag. Or are we gonna scream a lot more law and order when that doesn't work? The patent approach doesn't work in today's environment. We know that. We know that as in the military with dealing with these young guys, right?
It's even the military can't do. Yeah, there's no way.
So you're not going to do that from Capitol Hill either, or the White House, and all the way down to state and local officials. These people want to go the be kind route, and I'm okay with that. Look, if that is the route, we need to understand that as leaders, right? In society or in the government. And if we don't get that, then yeah, people are going to push back on symbols that do represent that end of the world, which is right now the American flag, and they're going to push back. So, but what did Bush do? He put his arm around a few guys and said, "Hey, let's go get them. Let's all get under this flag and let's go get them." And everybody said, "Hoorah!" and put American flags in there. Everything had an American flag on it. You said it, Chris.
In a way, that's easier. You're fighting a common enemy, versus fighting your neighbor.
True, that is true. But this was some domestic and social issues that came up, right? And I mean, the American flag still could have come out on those same topics, certainly of our widespread pandemic from a foreign country, if you believe it, right?
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
So why didn't that happen as well? I don't know. It does take some leadership to make that happen. So that's my edge, man.
It boggles the mind. That does kind of. Oh man.
Yeah.
I just want to know the rationale. Like I would love to be in the room when they're having that conversation. I'm like, what is it? Where's the fear there, instead of going the opposite direction, kind of like what you guys are saying? And did anybody raise their hand and say, you know what? No, let's do this instead. Let's go out there with the flag, get everybody underneath it, show everybody, like kind of like you guys said, and run with it in that direction instead of, is it you said it right, Cali? Is it because, well, you said it'd be easier to do rally underneath the flag, right?
Of course, yeah.
It sounds like in this bizarro, they feel it's easier just to say no flags. We're not having any representation. We want everybody, I don't even know what the word is. I was gonna say vanilla, or not thinking about that while you're at school or something. I don't know. That's crazy. I'd like to think, and
I think we're in the initial stages. There's I don't want to call it a civil war, but there's class warfare brewing, and we're in the early stages of it, I think, now. So depending on how the sides develop, one side may associate with the flag too, and I think maybe that might be the fear, is that you might be feeding the fire unwittingly, and so it's easier to just block it all out and say, we're going to focus on the objective issues, and we're not going to invoke all this symbolism because we don't want to rile up the wrong group, because there's some wacko groups out there. We've seen it. And absolutely, unfortunately, like a lot of them are taking to that as some kind of a rallying cry, the American flag, which through their own ignorance, they don't even really understand what they're really representing when they use it as their rallying symbol either.
Absolutely. So exactly.
I'm sympathetic to someone, to a school saying, why can't this kids just, focus on learning, and if it's going to be an issue, we'll deal with it off school grounds. But I'm with you, BMac. I don't agree with it. I'm just sympathetic to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
And the fact that we have. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say, wait until the DC becomes the 51st state. And now we have two flags, and how that will divide the country. I mean, in theory, we'll have one flag, but there'll be a lot of people that won't recognize it. That's going to be a lot more division. It's
maybe when California leaves the union, DC can just take their star.
See, we can't.
That could happen too, honestly.
I don't know how to fix it. We can't have that. We all got to stay and unite under one flag. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't have it.
Yeah. What's coming, man, from this? Even after the pandemic's over, is we have a massive amount of debt amassing. I don't understand. Like, I don't follow the market, or I follow it. I don't understand the market. How?
Not anymore.
How have we not just our GDP has to be in the toilet, right? Like nobody's producing what they produced in 2019. No company except for maybe Amazon, right?
Tesla.
What the fuck is sustaining our economy? And when is the bottom going to fall out, right?
We're printing money, baby. We're printing money. So is that going to be 2021 or like, I think we're due for another bubble, right? We're setting ourselves up for it. And I think that's going to really start to segregate and draw some fractures between some of the states that are more in debt and some of the states that, maybe have more. And I think we're way from being out of the woods, even after the pandemic subsides. No, this thing's going to last another 10 years, man. This is something that's going to linger. And you
They're
hit the
gonna
nail on the head.
Yeah. They're going to jack up corporate tax rates probably at the end of this year when they realize there's not enough tax revenue to cover all these bailout packages that we passed. And then you're going to feel
revenue. Chris, we just print. It's all right.
Print money.
Okay.
Print some more.
Okay. We just print some more. All right.
It's simple economics, man. We just print more.
Yeah.
We talk about tax revenue.
I'm gonna let my stuff ride for another 10 months and then I'm pulling it out, I think.
I think you might be behind, Chris. So
oh yeah?
I think you might be behind. he might be behind. So
you're already out?
Yeah, dude, everybody's getting out right now. But the market's raging right now.
No, that's what I understand. I'm gonna ride it a little bit longer, but I think once the budget comes through and they realize they can't write off all these states, like Michigan's going to go bankrupt. I think they're way behind. They're way in debt. They're going to look for a federal bailout. It's just not going to be there.
Have you been, since you're there locally, have you heard any of that? Any kind of local conversations?
Yeah, just local chatter. Yeah. Like I just don't know where it's coming from. How is this even being sustained? It doesn't make any sense to me. So it sounds a lot like the 2008 bubble and every other bubble you've heard of, the tech 2000 bubble. Like everyone's
every
saying
10 years.
Everyone just keeps making money. I don't know where it's coming from until you don't,
Yeah.
So
every 10 years, man.
Yeah.
Seems like
refinance your property now and move to more conservative positions. I think I'm going to do it.
Absolutely. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. Because now you're talking, like you said, that what's going to create that rift. You're almost talking like a class.
Class warfare is coming. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's and that's going to hurt. Talk about division.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, look what happened this week, right? Like Brand and I were talking earlier, I don't think any of us are losing sleep that, Trump got removed from Twitter, but what are the implications for the rest of us, right? And, for those people that were MAGA all the way, they try to go to another platform, i.e. Parler, and that's taken out from underneath their feet. Some of my friends that are on that side of it, deep, their level of anger is
losing it
high. And these are, successful, typically rational people, and just seeing the level of anger there, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
And then if this flag thing, if the high school that your son goes to is a microcosm of where it's going to go in the next couple months, we got to find something to unite against or unite with, or it's not going to be good. Yeah. And
sorry.
I just try to stay optimistic and preach optimism to everyone I'm around. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's always been okay. Every president that comes in, half the country doesn't like him, half the country does. And then the light went out in the room I'm in. This isn't good.
Move around.
Are you kidding me? I thought we lost you. We lost Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh, the gods are trying to tell you something. There it is.
This is a tangent, but all the ire and fury over Facebook and Twitter, I kind of had to laugh because those are advertising-based free platforms. You were never entitled to that. Do you ever wonder why it's free? If the product's free, it's not the product. You are, right?
You are, yeah.
So, Donald Trump was never entitled to Twitter or Facebook, and they have every right to kick him off of it if they don't like him. That's just the nature of that capitalist business. I'm fine with it.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, if there was
And
any kind of like government coercion for them to do it, that that blurs the line. But I can't believe how people are so shocked that an advertising based platform decided to exercise their capitalist privilege.
Yeah. That is kind of interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
what
the market will dictate whether or not that was the right move.
And that's
of
the
course,
beauty
yeah.
of the market. That's the beauty of the market.
Yeah,
And that's why we like, capitalism and how that's the reason why it works. Now, you say what you want about the other reasons why people think it doesn't work, and that's probably true too. But when you start talking competition and finding new ways and new things to do, and just watching, the ecosystem of these different platforms evolve, you gotta love it.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It helps.
Like you said, it's you have to have a long memory, but you remember the Cold War, like that's what won it, man. All that the market, letting the market take its form, take its shape.
Yeah.
You start tinkering and you lose. So I don't lose any sleep over Donald Trump getting kicked off Twitter either, Tyler.
No, I don't think anybody does. If you do,
yeah.
But I get where they're saying, and kind of like what Tyler alluded to, if they're willing to do that to him, or if they're willing to do that to these other folks, then they're going to do that to us just because I might say something that they don't like. And at the end of the day, yeah, they might. So that doesn't mean you have to.
And it's not just the Twitter either. It's the e-commerce and the financial side of it. You know what I mean? Like, literally, if somebody doesn't like what you say, and whoever that somebody is, I don't know yet, you could literally no longer be able to trade financial resources in exchange for product.
Yeah, there were some banks that did that, right? Didn't we? I just got my buddy who owns a gun shop. That's his business, and his bank that he does his business with, and his personal accounts, they shut them. They gave him like a certain amount of time to move his stuff and like move your shit, and we're done with you. And I was like, wait, what? They can do that? That I didn't know. I mean, if you're getting backed by the feds, right? Aren't all banks? I don't know. Are they private institutions? I guess I don't know how that works, but I'm pretty ignorant. So.
Yeah, they fall under FDIC. The others, there's a little column A, little column B.
Yeah. So how can they say based on what your business is, so long as it's legal, because it is a legal business, that you can't bank there? I don't know. He doesn't either. And he's pretty upset.
Slippery slope. Slippery slope. And that's why, like, just because you hate Trump so much, what does this lead to? And if the roles are reversed,
then what?
Yeah.
We'll take
about
this.
Recreational marijuana too. That's another one, like where the federal government has a stance on it, and they let the states exercise their own autonomy. But anything that deals crossing state lines, then that deals with the federal issue. So all these states have to have state-run banks where the money doesn't cross state lines. They deal in cash only, and it's really like kind of silly. It's silly how they have their fingers in the pot, but not really, but kind of.
And I wonder why that is. So I grew up in the '80s and late '70s, and you see how the Reagans and just say no, and I remember watching TV and this whole thing, and then seeing your community just decimated by the agenda, we'll call it.
Yeah, sure.
It was, and then to fast forward this so many years, 30 years later, and see where we are now, I just kind of I shake my head with that one, with the drugs thing, especially the marijuana.
One of my favorite Onion headlines ever was like, "We'd like to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs."
Oh, I did see that. I did see that. Just took time. Just took a little time.
I just think we moved that line in the sand a little bit over with recreational drugs versus what is legal, what is illegal.
Yeah.
The end result. I mean, people are always going to step over the line if we keep sliding it over, they're just going to step that much further, right? So the whole give an inch, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. I mean, go walk around downtown Denver and tell me you can walk down a sidewalk right now without tripping.
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
The place has completely changed over the last 5-6 years, and I'm talking that's a short time.
Very short time. I remember before going there for training or whatever, and it ain't the same, man.
Yeah,
very interesting.
And so for years there, we just kept MJ at bay, right? The recreational people enjoyed it; they knew where to go get it, and then that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now the monkey's out of the cage, man. So,
and he's high,
and it's running wild. And good on people that want to go there. That's up to them. But man, with no limit, that's tough. That's tough.
Speaking about monkey being out of the cage, is anybody drinking tonight? This is typically, guys
did miss that.
over a beer.
I saw Tyler drinking out of a styrofoam cup.
Yeah. White Claw over here.
I'm in an FBO in West Palm Beach right now.
You might be operating later.
Stuck here because Jacksonville Center went ATC 0, and so
are they doing a COVID cleaning?
Yep.
Yeah, Atlanta did that a couple days ago, I thought.
Our departure time got pushed 4.5 hours.
I'm drinking for both of us. I'm having a little bit of it's called New Riff. Got it from Total Wine. It's Kentucky straight bourbon. It's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
One of those brands, one of those off brands is trying to make it big. They won some award, distillery of the year or some garbage 2016.
Is it like a jazz theme? What's the riff part of it?
Yeah, they got some sort of squiggly line or something.
Oh fuck yeah. I'm down.
Good. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised how good it was. It kind of reminds me of that Eagle Rare a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, but a cheaper version. Obviously, this is actually Eagle Rare wasn't that expensive, but this wasn't either.
Eagle Rare is decent. This is Grand Traverse small batch bourbon. Bourbon whiskey. It's not it's out of Michigan, so it's not can't call it bourbon, so it's got to be bourbon whiskey.
Bourbon whiskey.
But it's okay. It's
good stuff.
Yeah, Traverse City. It's okay.
I love Traverse City. Have you been up there over the summer?
Yeah, I was not over the summer. I was just telling Tyler I was up north between Christmas and New Year's. We did some skiing, and just did some touring up there. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of snow. It's been great.
You ever do Pine Island up there? Out there?
Haven't yet.
No. Pine Knob. Isn't that the one, Tyler? It was over by Selfridge. Well, close to Selfridge.
Oh, on the east side. No, so we were on the west side. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know. I saw the signs for what you're talking about, but we were on the
Yeah.
west side. We were up in Boyne Mountain, so we went up past Traverse and over there. But yeah, dude,
Very nice.
it's been an awesome winter so far for sure.
It's cold.
It's a little cold. Yeah,
it's cold.
I can't lie. Yeah, as long as it's snowing, it's okay.
Absolutely not. BMac, where do you live?
What's that?
Where do you live
right now?
BMac? Yeah.
Right now?
What
right
state?
Now, Tampa. I'm still.
Are you in Tampa still?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Good.
Down this way. Yeah.
You're out in the Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody else.
That works.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
while we got BMac, BMac is a man of many stories.
And does he have a bunch of doozies?
And this one of those things that I kind of wanted to bring up tonight, and if we have to edit it, we will. Can you talk about the incident on your baseball team last spring and the controversy it caused?
Nah, let's come back. Let's come back to that.
Come back. Let's circle
about
back.
3 months.
Was it
4
that
months.
bad? Ugh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good. Another cliffhanger. So what?
Yeah,
basically
man.
You're doing yourself. You're guaranteeing that you'll be back.
Yeah. Returns. Yeah. Yeah. We got to let that one get to the court system.
Oh my God! It doesn't involve you.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is a national headline, though.
It is.
Really? Holy
It
cow.
is. So we'll just leave it right there.
All right.
But keep keep Furlough Friday hopping for a few more weeks. Huh?
So here's the thing: we're going to pivot from that story to how many pairs of eyes do we got on this screen? 2
Pairs.
6. So when you say pairs, there's 2 per person.
Yeah.
Let's see, 2, 4, 6. That's a weird. I don't know why I keep getting an odd number.
Because somebody's missing one. Yeah. All right. So,
do you take a different
Yeah,
depth perception test for the Air Force, or are you can you just memorize the one that we all used to take?
Just straight up disqualified. So,
okay.
no, they gave me one, but this weekend outdied the washer. So I got a picture of the washer and the pliers on top of it there. See the pliers
What's
on top?
Pliers?
Right there.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
So ladies and gentlemen that can't see this,
so do you have some pyro?
Right there. See right there?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's
and
amazing.
that's
So
the
he's got
washer.
this washer, this what do they call those? They're not top loading. They're side
front
loading.
loading.
Front loading. That's what it is. Washer with a pair of needle nose pliers on top.
Washer. Oh shoot! So we got rid of the washer today. It's gone. I got a new
How
one.
did you get rid of it? Were there explosives involved or?
No,
firearms?
I got those pliers back out and cut the lines and pulled it out.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Put it.
Would that not be a cathartic experience for you to actually like destroy that thing properly?
I thought about it. Probably more the pliers than it would the washer, though.
Okay, so now tell the story. Let's let the folks understand what we're talking about here. And it's funny, not funny, or funny, not funny. I don't know.
So I was downtown Tampa, just left the bar with my wife, and these 2 dudes rounded the corner. One was carrying somewhat of a switchblade, which I was able to fend off. Oh, should I stop there and come back to the clothes washer? So,
and that's the guy you stuffed into the washer. Got it.
Yeah. And
but the real story is
fixing my clothes washer and jabbed out my left eye. Yeah, so here I am. And I got a donor transplant a few months later, replaced the front of my eye. And they're still working today, a few years later, to get my vision back. So
wow. So you took the needle nose pliers to the eye somehow. Which so basically you're an advocate for wearing goggles, I guess at some point.
Safety glasses, sure.
Safety glasses.
They went underneath the ones I was wearing.
Underneath the freaking safety guard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk
Straight
about
up.
the luck.
Yeah.
What do you know about the donor, BMac? Do you know anything about the donor?
No, they won't tell you anything about the donor. So they called me and said they had a match and come on in,
Yeah.
Can you see?
Did you check the police blotter for like motorcycle accidents and stuff?
Exactly.
No, I've had some strange dreams. Wakes me up in the middle of the night talking to me.
That's what. Yeah. You think it's a girl? You think it's a woman?
The craziest thing is, you guys got to check
you like
this out.
0.5% lady right now?
No, it was a dude. I checked that out because low T for a little bit, low T, but
you're like
wasn't because of the eye. But all right, so
because that eye might be looking at wieners.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, or have looked at.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
But so I got a matching contact to match one eye to the other from an optometrist in December. But the problem is the contacts don't match at all. Not even close. So
really?
one eye is white to light gray, and the other one is my normal bluish green eye.
Did you get 2 contacts and?
Yeah, or just have the artist make the match like they should.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing, man. Just do the right thing.
They don't match. So my optometrist told me that. I'm like, well, I thought you guys matched it. You guys color matched. You guys took all kinds of pictures. He's like, yeah, Brian, well about that. A woman came in a week before you to pick hers up, and she called us from South Africa on vacation. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with my contact? It doesn't match.
Oh,
and,
no.
And this one's all, they had given her my contact.
Oh,
she took it on vacation to South Africa. So they had to reformulate me a new contact as quick as they could. And that one didn't match me, just a contact mess.
Oh my.
So next time I see you guys in person, I'll wear it. It's pretty freaky looking.
So you look like one of those
So-
calico cats. Which one of those cats
Yeah.
have different colored eyes or whatever?
Or like
Yeah.
the bass player from Limp Bizkit.
There you go.
Limp Bizkit.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
So wait,
So-
so what are the implications? So militarily, I guess you lost your ability to fly for the military, right?
Yeah, they're trying to get it back. They're trying to give me a 1-eye waiver.
Are they?
Never done before. You know,
I was gonna
Doc
say
wants to give me a waiver. So
that's because you're a special kind of pilot. You're a good dude. They're gonna go out of their way for it.
yeah, we'll see. I need to get my school done first so I can move
Yeah, I was
along
saying,
with life.
how many more years do you think you have in the military, man? Aren't you about done?
Yeah, I'm about
but-
done.
I kind of feel like
You're
done.
You were
You're
what, 4 years?
Brandon,
behind
you're
me
done,
in
right?
School. Yeah, I'm
or
done.
a pirate you're done, and another pirate. You're congratulations, right? Coming up
March 5th.
March 5th. Are you doing anything for it, or should I try to fly down?
Yeah, I
Yes, you
mean,
should.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna
We
do
might
something.
have
Are you going to go out with the bang or a whimper?
whimper for sure. I don't know.
No,
I
I say
might
he takes
see
a
it-
dump in
I
a
might see if we
brown
can
paper
destroy
bag.
Nate's house or something.
Okay.
What about
Let me
Kenny?
know.
BK, he's
I
got a
will.
big boat.
Ooh, we could destroy BK's house and boat too.
I say we do that.
Come on down and break something, Cali.
I'd love
Yeah,
to,
come
man.
on.
March 5th. Okay.
Yeah,
You
you think
wanna
we
do-
can get BMac out of the hood?
Oh boy.
Will you
Oh,
have your
boy.
good eye by then?
Yeah, I'll impress you guys. I'll bring my boat. Come on, let's go.
Have you seen Brian Kinney's boat?
No, I don't know.
Well,
You doing all right?
You'll have
Yeah.
boat envy, I assure you.
Oh boy.
It's
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Okay.
Check his.
Okay.
Check his. What do you remember Brian Kenny? You were around. when he
Yeah.
was here, right?
Yeah.
Go check
Yeah.
out his social media outlets, and you'll see something of an amazing flotation.
He's living his best life, man. He's got an awesome dog, awesome boat.
Yeah.
What else
Well,
do you want? I guess, yeah.
when you're on your like 6th or 7th wife, you can do things like that.
Yeah.
Pilot life. Hashtag pilot life. Speaking of which, but wait, so BMac, so for your actual job on the outside, who will remain nameless, you can still fly. Civilian.
Yes. Yep.
That's amazing.
Why not?
And you are captaining the ship, is that correct?
And you're a captain?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Was correct. Yeah.
With all the displacements, I'm back in the
Yeah,
right
who
seat
knows?
for a little bit.
Who knows
so.
wherever the dust settles, we'll be all over the place, right? Nobody
Yeah.
knows where we're gonna end up. But yeah, great. Dude, that's
Yeah.
it's funny how the military is. I had a guy, he was an old unit of mine, and he's older, but he was in the guard, and he was flying for American Airlines, and he got like a little skin. I think I may have told the story when we were talking about somebody else that had cancer, and technically, I guess it was some sort of skin cancer, right? But immediately when he was diagnosed, Air Force said, "Nope, you're done. You're done flying right off the bat. DNF, bam, done flying. You have this thing." And he's like, "No, they took it out already. They didn't even have to carve deep, and it was completely gone out of his system. Like he never had a relapse, never, And it was when we were talking with Dean, because Dean had a little something. And meanwhile, the whole time, like his flight doc was like, yeah, that's fine. How deep did it go? Oh yeah, you're good. Nothing. And he's flying for American Airlines the whole time, didn't down him not once. There's no medical review, but yet the Air Force is like, yeah. And he never flew again. He never flew again for the Air Force. He was about 3 years out from retirement. And he was just like, screw it. I'm gonna go to the ALO. I don't want to fight this fight. There's better ways to waste my time, I guess. That was his quote.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it.
Similar story, the guy in our unit, Mike Alpha, I guess. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
He had
same.
had an Air Force flight doc that had an axe to grind and didn't really know what he was talking about, but wrote the wrong thing. And you just, once it's on in the booklet, they can't get rid of it.
Even if it's wrong, once it's in ink, he cannot, and he's still not flying to this day. And he's probably, next to, of course, BMac and Cali here on the show, one of the best pilots and guys to be around.
Absolutely, yeah.
That I can think of. He was an old roommate of mine. We were roommates when we were lieutenants way back in the day.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, right there on Bayshore. And talk about a great dude.
Sends me a text every year on my birthday. I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah.
Birthday, Christmas.
His list is long, and he's willing to do it. I can't believe it. Like to this day, and for him not to be in the cockpit mentoring other pilots is a travesty.
Oh, disservice. Yeah, travesty is probably a better word. Yeah,
dude, he's a far better pilot than I'll ever be, and here I am like an idiot, flying around like trying to get DNIF, I don't want to fly in the military anymore. I'm done. I'll keep the airline job though. Thank you. I love you guys out there, by the way, whoever you are, you airline jobs.
Sounds like the life. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I knew what it was. I haven't flown and we don't even go there. It's almost scary to say anymore. I have a hell of a training module ahead of me. But yeah, it's crazy that you're able to do that. But good. It's a good crazy. Like I'm glad you're able to still fly and, bring home some bacon. And feed your family,
Yeah. So I show up to this unit here in Florida, and I didn't even but check in, and my interview process was a little bit short, right? I had a shorter one, but man, I didn't even show up the second floor of that building. I run into this guy named BA, right? I was like, oh my God, where do I know you from? And come to find out, this guy's a senior. Well, I'm sure it was a freshman or sophomore. Maybe you're a junior at the time, but dude,
it was hard to remember anybody that was less than a junior. So, and I don't remember you. So you definitely were not.
Yeah, you ran hard then. Still running hard now.
I ran a tight ship. It was only a ship of one. There's only one person on it, but it was tight. Let me tell you.
Oh shoot.
You and one of the other guys in the unit, they found their way back to a unit that I was in, and we all went to school together. We all went to University of Central Florida, Det 159. Shout out, right? And I think Medina was a sophomore. I was a senior, and I think you might have been a freshman. Were you after Medina?
No, same year.
Oh, same. Okay, so then you guys had to have been sophomores.
Yeah.
I think when I was on the way out. Dude, man, that last year, I tell you what, man, it was you couldn't catch me. I was gonna make it to that finish line. I'm out of here. Everything was in the rear view. I had to get my boots from Medina though. Medina was always shining my boots every week. We had a running standing appointment. So I had to get my boots from him.
Do you guys have Medina on here yet?
Yeah, he's banned. Yeah, he's not allowed on anymore. Oh yeah, true. It's a fact. Make sure you say that to him also.
We gave him 2 opportunities. We gave him an opportunity to redeem himself. He could not do it.
Yeah. He's probably the worst. No, not probably. How do I put this?
The worst.
Say this.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? I'm trying to think of how I would say that
just
he was the worst.
Leave out the word probably, and then
just say the worst. Yeah, he's definitely the worst person we've ever had on the show. Here's the thing. I'm willing to put it out there and say he is the worst person we will ever have on the show. Like we're even talking in the future, right? And we don't even know who those people are.
We haven't invited Jeremy Ayers yet. Yeah.
I'd rather have him. I'd rather have him. You know who I'd rather have on the show than Medina?
Love you, Jer.
And this is blasphemy. A little short colonel.
Oh my God. Actually, I would
Named
love that.
Frank.
Brandon, I would love that. Yeah.
Him, we got to bring Watkins on for that one.
Oh, can you imagine getting little
and
Frank?
Maybe Remo, right?
You could get Remo on here.
Wow.
No, but Remo and Frank,
no.
Just have them hash out their old.
And for those of you guys out there that don't know who these people are, these were probably some of the worst commanders we've ever had. Little Frank, I hope you're listening because I don't like you. I don't like anything you stand for. Yeah, he was special.
There's ever a way I can fuck you over. I don't see it, but if there ever is, rest assured, I'm gonna do it, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I was, almost trying to look for a way to put myself in his path so I can screw something up for him. Yeah. Like even if he wanted he's ordering tacos from Taco Bell. I want to cut the line and take the last taco. Like it's that bad. I want to make sure this guy
like
never
if you
sees
ever
happiness.
if ever like your last court notice for your child support hearing gets sent to my house by mistake, instead of like forwarding it to your address, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash.
Oh, without question. Without question.
Hey, BMac, didn't he reprimand you for your mustache that you didn't have?
What one I got it right now.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you got roped into that, and that he didn't he actually write you an LOC or LOR?
It's gonna be LOR.
LOR. So
hey, listen, guys. You guys continue this conversation.
Where are you going?
Tyler's out. I'm gonna try and fly home. I want to go home.
Boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll give us 2 more minutes. We'll wrap it up because I got to get in there too.
He's got to go too.
I don't want to ruin the party.
No.
You already have.
Yeah.
So you got a letter of reprimand for a mustache you never had.
There you go. Yeah. For the threat thereof. Yeah.
Threat thereof. You threatened to have a mustache.
Oh, are you just moving the equipment, or do you have a passenger?
Yeah, he's got a passenger.
Oh, okay.
We dropped the passenger out. That's why we're here. We brought the passenger.
Okay. What, are you bringing it back?
No, not. We're flying back empty.
You're just moving the equipment back? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, still.
All right, yeah, man. Furlough Friday 27. I appreciate you guys coming on. I know Tyler's got to beat feet. He's going to give us a couple more seconds. BMac, dude, please come back at least in 3 months so you can tell the story about your teammate there. And of course, our resident funny guy and all around greatest troll.
Miss you guys totally. Yeah, thank you.
Herbie.
All right. Herbie Beaver Stank.
Herbie.
Okay.
Herbie. Oh, man. Cali, I love you, brother. All right, guys. Be safe out there, please.
All right.
All right. Good
Later,
night, guys.
fellas.
Good night.
Yep.
Peace.
See you guys.